come on also.
Lunchtime with the scene. It's Big Shot. It's Trav. It's J Ham. MJ about to drop in through. Remember, Facebook group 94 Feet of Life. Make sure you subscribe to the scene. We got Germ jumping in. Little lunchtime special. So I apologize to the public if you see me, down this sandwich real quick. A brother is on lunch from his 9 to 5, but had to talk to my people. NBA bubble talk, man. We got Jay, Trav, Germ, Myra. What's happening, y'all?
Just another day in the neighborhood. Just
I
another
hear
day
that.
in the
It's oppressively hot in the Bluff City. That's all I can say.
Trav, what's happening? What's happening in North Mississippi today?
Hey man, bubble talk, bubble talk, bubble talk. That's what it is right now, especially in the West going on. I'm actually watching a game right now with the Spurs and Houston, and the Spurs is giving Houston the business right now. It's 62-43.
Oh,
Making ass people.
Yes, it's going down right now. So let's get to this bubble
Damn.
talk, man.
all right.
Oh,
So there's so many directions we can go with the bubble because there's been just so much happening. Regular season is up on Friday. Western Conference, we are guaranteed a playoff game, uh, a playing game, I should say, between the 8 and 9 seed, whoever finishes in those two spots. Let's start with that because we got our Memphis representatives here with J Ham. Memphis struggled out the gate in the bubble. Lost, I think, their first four, lost first five. Got a big win last week, a win that they really, really needed. Jay, how do you assess this young Grizzlies team? I guess overall, because obviously they've struggled, but they showed some resiliency a little bit last week.
coming into the bubble situation in general, that was a concern for me. Because it's like, okay, you got a young team, rookie head coach, time off. Okay, it might, when they get back into the structure of things, it might feel like November again. And for some parts of it, it did feel like November again. But they went 1-5 in the bubble. At this point. Couple of those games they lost pretty much at free throw line. They couldn't. They struggled to make free throws. They go and they getting like technical fouls for free throws, and then those, and missing the two if they get in line. Just little shit like that. They kind of really got over on them, especially in those first two games.
Hey Ham, you breaking up real bad, bro.
Damn. Okay. Well, now.
That's you're getting better. Keep talking.
Okay, but yeah, the free throws are costing. The youth is costing as well. They showed their age in general, coaching and playing, but they keep fighting. And which coming into this, they had already exceeded my expectations, so it wasn't no big deal. So we get in, we don't. We got a lot to build on and grow on going down the road. So I'm cool with it. I just want them to continue to fight because they managed to hang around just by fighting for the most part.
And on the opposite side of that conversation is Phoenix. Now, Phoenix was a team, I'll be real. When they started inviting people to the bubble, I was like, Phoenix for why? Like, why is Phoenix here? What's the purpose? And they fired out the gate 6-0, got themselves back into the conversation. Jern, what's happened with Phoenix in the bubble that they've made this unbelievable turnaround?
I just think that with we talked about this, and Worldwide said this to us when we were talking about everything at the beginning when we talked about before the bubble started. It's just number one, they got a superstar player, so they got an alpha dog with Devin Booker. We all know he's a for sure bucket. That's one of the best bucketeers in basketball.
But number two, they just play hard. They playing hard on both ends of the floor. I mean, they started off slow against the Thunder the other night and then end up smacking them folks. Like, how are you down big and then you end up going up and beating somebody by 20? That's like a 30, 40 point swing that you see in that game in just in itself. I mean, defensively, you see that they're making their rotations, they're making their shots at the right times, because as we know, it's a make or miss league. Timely shot making, not to mention they capitalizing on all bad reads. When Paul George was late on that contest, Devin Booker put it in his eye. It was just that simple.
Yep.
It was hand up, and it was hand up, eyes down. That was pretty much just how it went. So, I mean, I like what I see from them. And then I'm excited about this because the three teams that we got that's going to be playing into this, we got the Suns, who have been playing fantastic. We have Portland, who besides some late game struggles has played fantastic. And we have the Spurs, besides a couple of fumbles here and there, who have played fantastic. So we got three teams that all are going to give a great first round matchup on a neutral court to the number one seed Los Angeles Lakers, in my opinion. I'm just going to say this and I'm going to pass it back. I really think that Portland and the Suns is a great preliminary matchup to get to the number one seed, but I ain't going to count out Greg and what he do with them Spurs. Also, Trav on the line. I don't want Trav to kick me off.
Nice recovery. Nice recovery. Nice recovery.
Shot making ass people, man. I can't stand them sometimes, man. But they cool though, you know. Go ahead, Trav.
Hey, I had to put them in there, put the segue in for the Spurs. Go ahead.
You know,
Trav, let's talk about the Spurs. The Spurs were another team that were probably, if there was a bubble for the bubble, the Spurs were on it when this whole thing started. And like Phoenix has righted the ship, have gotten themselves with a puncher's chance of making this play-in game. What's happened in San Antonio for a team that pre-bubble looked dead in the water and has now found its legs and Pops is stirring that magic up again?
They just see the light. They see the light. Eubanks is really giving us some pop off the bench as far as that athletic big. A lot of people don't usually see San Antonio with that athletic big ever since David Robinson. Not Tim Duncan, David Robinson. Eubanks is giving that lift, and these guys are playing this small ball. And hey, my guy from Big Blue Nation, man, he's playing good ball too. I mean, the Spurs have just picked it up. They picked it up, and they are a rebound and a game closing away from being the 8th seed right now within Denver. Just Michael Porter Jr. showed up too. So I mean, but the Spurs are they locked in. They look like they locked in right now, playing against Houston. They up by 16 right now. And Memphis is giving us a little bit of hope as far as losing games. They last two games is what, against Milwaukee and Toronto?
I'm about to give y'all that right now too, by the way, because I got all of the team, the whole standings and everything.
Give me the two games that Memphis had.
Memphis got yeah, they got Boston and they got the Grid. They got the Bucks.
Boston. So they got two of the top Eastern Conference teams, and are they gonna sit their starters down?
But I think
but they still ain't go. I don't think they're gonna go down that easy.
I still think the book.
Did y'all see Toronto?
Toronto got number 21. This dude got two jobs. He has two jobs. I come out the screen to shoot. I come out the screen to pass. That's it. He's a gunner. And the rest of their players are so long and lengthy and can play defense. Milwaukee is built the same way. They still got shooters. They still got shooters over there. So the it I was listening to give me that show Ham Justin and John. They said this. They said if Memphis was to go 0-6 in this bubble, they're gonna be in trouble. They are 1-5 right now. They're 1-5 in bubble play.
And check it. They lost the previous 4 prior to the stoppage.
Lost 4, won 1, and just lost the other day.
So they won their last 10. The youth showed up. Like at the end when the schedule still got fucking tight, the youth showed up. And they quit competing. But you can see where the youth was. You know, that's
Like I've been saying about Memphis, they are the team that's usually the one that's out hunting. They're not used to being hunted. And
Yep.
that's what's going on right now.
right.
And we
Especially
talked
after
about
they came back to the bubble.
that pre-bubble when they lead on H to about 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 4 games with about a month to play. Pre-bubble, we were like,
Right.
can you hold on? And as Ham has talked about this, it's just the youth is just show. Like their team, they are in uncharted waters. I think if you would ask Taylor Jenkins before the season started and say, hey, you're gonna be 4 games up on for the A spot with a month to play, would you take that? He would have said, hell yeah. I'm sure if you ask most Memphis fans
They
in
taking it.
October, if you say, hey, you're gonna have a month to play, you have a 4-game lead on the A spot, you would take it. So they are in a place that they weren't supposed to be in, and I think it's starting to show. But we gotta talk about now about the other team in the run. Good old Hollywood Dame. Old first take Hollywood Dame.
And look,
Jern, what is the 2 games that they got?
Yeah, what's
Hey.
Portland got?
okay, so real quick, just so y'all know, the Mavericks don't have nothing else to play for because they 2 games behind the Jazz, right? They just beat the Jazz the other day, and they only got 1 game left, which is on Thursday. So the Mavs are locked in, and they playing the Clippers.
At a
Right?
fifth seed, or a 6 or
That's
7?
a 7. They're the
That's a
7,
7. That's a 7.
right?
Okay.
Jazz is locked in at a 6. So with Portland has to play the Mavs today at 6:30, which is Central Time. That's my time, 6:30.
Mhm.
And then they got to play the Nets. Both of these teams is locked in. They ain't got much to play for. So here's the problem.
So
Portland
here's
just
so
needs to
so
take care
so
of business.
so here's where it comes now for Hollywood Dame. Listen, you talked it big. Now I'm not siding with Skip Bayless on any of that. However, as Jermis pointed out, you playing 2 teams who pretty much got nothing to play for these last 2 games with 2 shots to get in the play-in game. Portland, you cannot lose either one of these games. So
especially after y'all let the Clippers 3rd string hit y'all up there.
yeah, especially after you. Yeah,
That's why they're not in the
especially-
8th seed, Ham. Ham, that's literally why they're not in the 8th seed right now.
Yep, because you
Just like
lost.
Trav said about the Spurs,
Mhm.
All 3
the Spurs and the Portland have given away games
that they
in
should have gave
general.
away.
Yeah,
There
so
are
Portland.
all 3 teams are 1 loss away from the 8th spot.
From that 8th spot.
Hey,
And
Portland
that
went
was
out there-
within the bubble.
Hey, Portland went out there and lost to Eric Piatkowski and Maurice Taylor. Shout out Mo Taylor
And Lloyd Vaughn.
and Lloyd Vaughn.
Man. Y'all,
You
y'all a tough crowd, man. Y'all some tough folks.
Hey,
Tyrone Nesbitt.
it's a tough crowd, but guess what? We are now at that point. Y'all had 2. The bubble. Now the bubble. Everybody should be used to the bubble at this point. You've been there 2 weeks.
Another appointment. I'm putting that up there with the Yogi Fairfield too. Out at the third string beat y'all in the bubble, and Yogi got a full deal off y'all. That was all 10 days got a full deal off y'all.
Yogi went from 10-day to 3 year.
I love y'all Portland. Y'all solid with me. That's just funny.
So this is these last, I guess today is Tuesday, we taping this. So these last 4 days are gonna get real interesting.
Yeah.
Now let's flip this over to the Eastern Conference, where Milwaukee is locked in at 1. Toronto is pretty much locked in at 2. I don't even think
everybody locked in. Everybody locked in.
Can anybody move up or down?
The Pacers can move up to 4. That's about it. Heat can move down 1. Pacers can move up 1. There's no home court advantage. To be honest, the Sixers may be able to move up to 5. But I mean, let me see who the Sixers got to play left. It's just really 4, 5, 6, to be honest.
Okay.
So I mean, because the Sixers, they go, damn, they got to play the Suns. The Phoenix Suns, Kobe Bryant, they got to play them folks. And then you got the Raptors. They got to play the Raptors as well for the finale, which is tomorrow at 6:30 for them. I mean, can I be honest? The Sixers, to me, I would sit suicides and salads. Make sure he don't get hurt. Make sure everything is good. And Copa said, "Yeah, I said suicide." Y'all two came up with it, so since y'all came up with it, I'm gonna use it. So sit suicides and salads, and then stay in the 6, because if there's any top team out of the top 3 that I think is vulnerable, I think it's Boston. Out of all 3 of those teams, because I think Boston is the one team. Number one, we don't know what Tatum is gonna show up from game to game. He has had games in the bubble where he didn't went off and got 30 and looked like he was on his way to 30 in one game, and I don't know what happened in the fourth quarter. It's just I've seen so many different things, and me and Trav had a conversation off the record about this, and Trav's so funny. Trav was like, "So who is the closer for Boston?" I was like, "Jason Tatum." He said, "Wrong." I said, "Okay, well, I feel like I'm in class, but we're gonna keep going." I said, "Well, I know you ain't saying Jaylen Brown." He said, "Eh." I said, "Okay. All right, cardiac Kimba." Now I know I got the answer right. I just stuck my chest out. You know, I get to walking different. He like, still wrong. It's Kyrie Irving, and he don't even play for them. I said, "Well, hey, look, I can't argue with that, because as much as people say Kyrie was a problem, Kyrie was the one guy that Jason Tatum would pass the ball to and say, you go get it, because you have the offensive skill set to go and take this game." He don't look at Kimba and say that, because Kimba can't even be on the court.
Yeah,
that's what's hurting Boston.
Boston it's almost too many cooks in the kitchen.
It is.
And it's almost, and I think, and especially, you know, if Kimba's knee is not right,
that hurts them.
They could be in trouble. In that, now I think they'll beat Philadelphia in the first round, because I think Philadelphia, I think that thing is just going so left.
I got you.
At this point, I think they'll get through Philadelphia. But if Toronto, now Boston has beaten Toronto 3 out of 4, but Toronto got that savvy. Toronto has the depth, and no team in their bubble can adjust on the fly quicker than what Toronto did. Toronto changed their game plan up on you in the middle of the series.
Yeah, and especially in the Eastern Conference.
We're talking about the best out of 7, where you might see 4 or 5 different game plans that you ain't ready for. Yeah. Boston,
and all that takes is one game. All it takes is one game to turn a series around.
And to me, that's going to be interesting too, y'all. I want to get y'all thoughts on this. The playoffs are still best out of 7. And yes, these dudes have come back. The quality of the games have been high, but you've still been out for 4 months. Whose legs gonna go first? Because you had this time to sort of ramp up. who legs go first. And I think when these playoffs hit, yes, it's about execution, but who's going to be in shape? You know, who's going to be able to play another potentially 20, 25 games to a chip after you sat down for 4 months and had about what, a 7-game warm up.
Yeah, you had an old school preseason, basically, and then went right back into playoff mode. The advantage that you got with it, you have no travel. Everything's right there.
That helps.
A lot. How much will it affect on the mental side? Is my question. Just from those that there, say favorites. They coming in just like they go in LA Fitness. LA Fitness is a ball. 6-0. I found another stat that was pointed on today. They said that the Nets are the only team in the bowl in this league in the game. Like they coming in open. Now we all know how the playoff mentality goes. Just the general. When you go up to that next notch, the next level, it's like okay, and it's all right here in the bubble. There's no home court, no travel to go with it. My follow-up question is like, who's not just whose legs gonna break, who's gonna break here first?
Mm-hmm.
From those contenders, because Portland, they got enough in LA Fitness to beat the Lakers. So they got enough in LA Fitness to beat the Lakers. They got enough to beat the Lakers. Probably not in the general NBA sense where you have 4 games this way, 3 games the other way, but right here in the same venue, same city, just alternate days. You probably won't even have games spaced out as much because there's no travel.
Mm-hmm.
So legs and Melo coming into that after the 8-game preseason, and now you're on the stretch with, like you said, 20, 25, maybe 28 max to win the chip. Who won it?
Because I think the schedule of the bubble is they're trying to be done. If I remember reading right, they want to be done by the end of September, or certainly the first part of October.
October, right.
So you're talking about 20, 25 games in the space of about 6 weeks, which is about 4 days a week for a month and a half. So I think
where your general playoffs,
your
general playoffs are generally 3 months.
Right. Yeah, your playoffs usually start April, don't end till June. You talk about shrinking this down 2-3 weeks. So as Mo talked, Germ talked about suicides and salaries. Conditioning is going to be a real thing at this stage in the game because these dudes are finely tuned machines, but they're about to be playing a lot of basketball in these next 6 weeks.
Meaningful basketball, not just open run shit.
Yeah.
with the anguish of adjustments and things of that nature from game to game too.
Right. You're not gonna have a lot of practice time. So this is gonna be a test. We talked about the asterisk. This is not gonna be an asterisk because whoever wins this is gonna earn this one. You're gonna earn this one.
It's been meaningful basketball ever since this started, especially for these Western Conference teams from 8 to 11.
But no,
8 to 11.
From 1 through 11.
The West been jockeying. The West been jockeying position since day one, to be honest.
I'm gonna say this as well. I think all of it has taken time because LeBron took these couple of weeks and really got himself under wraps. Right. I mean, LeBron, remember, last couple games, LeBron has finally started to get his legs up under him. And that's important for the Lakers. It don't matter what nobody else doing on the Lakers. 23 got to show up and AD got to show up. Kuz and everybody else, we need them to show up, of course. But those guys got to show up. And this is the thing. The Lakers don't, if I'm the Lakers, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, it's looking like we're going to end up playing Dame and CJ and Melo and Nurkic and and Hassan Whiteside and Gary Trent Jr. and Zach Collins. I'm looking at this and I keep naming people. And Simmons. I'm gonna be playing these dudes. Hey, all these dudes that they have are better than everybody that the Lakers have at the guard position. And then their bigs outside of Anthony Davis, all of their bigs are better right now. And they got the number 3 overall pick from the same 2003 draft that LeBron came in, who we know give LeBron buckets.
Man, don't start with him.
That's a problem.
That's another conversation for another day.
That's a problem.
We already know what's going on with it.
This is not your normal 8 seed. This is a team that didn't play well at the beginning part of the season due to injuries, due to different things. And then all of a sudden now they're in a situation where they literally can be the 8 seed that ends up in the finals. Portland, arguably, we can say, besides the Clippers in the West, have the best guard rotation.
Like my guy Big Shot said, Mr. Hollywood wasn't fun about this bubble. He wasn't fun about this bubble.
But
now that they the front runners, the only thing you hear him talking about is Skip Bayless.
Right. Don't let that be don't get caught up in that.
Do not get caught up in it. Do not get caught up in that, Dave.
If I had Damian Lillard's number, I'd tell him, let that go. Don't even.
I would want him to handle it the same way that he did when he choked away them 2 free throws from the other night. Just let it go. A birthday balloon. Let it go. There you go. Birthday balloon.
Come back and bust their ass the next night like he did after.
Do what he just did. What, 51?
Yeah, 51.
That was a mad 51. That was a mad 51.
That's that 51 that you can't do nothing about.
That was a real pissed off hit to watch.
Fellas, let's change it up. I'm going to talk about the bubble all-stars. And I'm not talking about the best players in the league. I'm talking about dudes who, since this bubble started, have come out of nowhere.
TJ Warren.
We can start with TJ Warren. We can go to Michael Beasley Jr. Michael Porter Jr.
I got you.
Bo. All of a sudden.
Bo.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all a name. This dude actually been hooping since he been in the bubble. His name is Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz has had a very good bubble.
Yeah.
He's had a very good bubble.
I remember a couple years ago, they threw dirt on his main name. All it was mental.
I was there to see it.
I was there to see it. They threw his name down. Get rid of him. Trade him. You got what you wanted, Philly. Ever since this man had been in Orlando, again, his confidence is through the roof. He's just playing freely. He don't care about his shoulder. He's just doing everything basketball free. I like that. I'm proud.
Yeah, Markelle bubble all-star. You mentioned him early. Keldon Johnson. First team all bubble.
Can we just nominate everybody from the Phoenix Suns?
Well, you got some Gary Trent. You got some Gary Trent in there too. You know what I'm saying? Because he went for about 25 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Well, Gary Trent. The thing about Gary Trent is he ain't doing nothing that he ain't already did. The problem is he making the open jumpers.
It's the significance of that shit too, because he's helping where they are. You know what I'm saying? You know, so he's come up big. Even when they lost the other day, he played well. It's like shit with his fucking fault, but the bubble
all-star for the Portland Trailblazers ain't even playing for them right now. And it's Trevor Ariza, because that's what allowed Gary Trent to get these opportunities, because he wouldn't be getting these opportunities if Trevor Ariza was on the court.
That's fair.
Now, let me tell you who we on the flip side. Listen, man. They got to get New Orleans out this bubble tonight. I don't care if they got to play out the rest of the season.
Oh man, hey man, I can't do
Look,
it, man.
y'all gonna get Alvin Gentry fired on his day off. They the most disappointing team that was in the bubble by far.
Yeah.
By
For
far.
for effort alone.
And you
Forget
know,
for,
and you know
forget the,
what?
forget the fact that they not in the AC, right? Okay, you're not in the AC run, cool. I know bad effort when I see it.
Right.
I know you can play bad, you play bad, cool. Like the Washington Wizards have not played great. They're not cheating me on effort though. They're just not very good. Sacramento Kings are just not very good, but you're not cheating me. New Orleans should have stayed out the bubble. Just don't even come. Just stay where y'all could have stayed in the 504. The Master P documentary was been on for the last 4 weeks. Should have stayed home and watched that.
Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Man, come on, man.
Hey, you know what? What's so funny about New Orleans? New Orleans was that ninth seed.
Yep.
Starting the bubble. New Orleans was that ninth seed. And they went on a terrible losing streak. Now
It really started when they lost that game to Utah, though.
Utah.
They
Right.
had that opportunity after that game, and then the Clippers came out and made 26 damn threes on them. And
That
ever
was
since
it.
that ran,
That was
ever
it.
since they got the raining on them folks parade like that, that was it.
That was it.
Remember when the Dudley boys used to come out, y'all, and they used to cheer? That's how it was every time Kawhi PG hit a three that one night. I mean, it was bad. But I see psychologically, and then you got to remember this too, y'all. Zion not being a bigger part of it, I think Zion was a bigger distraction for that team while they're being in the bubble than it was anything else. And I'm not saying he's not a good player, and I'm not saying he did anything, but just his condition, the constant questions about him and if he's gonna play, I think all of that was just a big factor in for the young team. And then not to mention Brandon Ingram started off the first couple games balling, and then we ain't heard from him too much since. So I mean, I just think overall his inconsistencies, we start to see what he's good at, and we start to see the things that he needs to improve on as a player. So I just think overall this was just a bad year, just like Memphis. Memphis and New Orleans got the same problem. Young teams, they got young floor generals because Lonzo still ain't figured everything out. Lonzo hasn't. I mean, he's shooting putrid from the field. I mean, we talk about anything that could go right for them would have been. We needed Lonzo. The only bright spot, a bubble MVP, is JJ Redick. JJ Redick dropping people off, taking people to the hole, getting assists, popping 30-foot jumpers, playing defense, taking charges, selling popcorn, handing out Gatorade.
Right. He
I
played
mean,
well.
handing fouls. I mean, this
played
is
really well.
And you know what we questioned years ago? We said, why the hell would Philly give JJ Redick $20 million? Well, guess what?
you see why
He earned
now.
that. He sure do.
You
Because
see why
Philly ain't
now.
been right since he left either.
What
But
did
we
he
ain't gonna
have?
talk about that.
What did he have? He had like a 13 game streak, 13 season streak of playoffs
He's never missed the playoffs in his basketball career.
until now.
Because remember who he started off with. He started off with Dwight Howard, Courtney Lee, and all them folks over there with the Hedo Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis show.
Yeah.
Rashard Lewis.
And they were in the finals in 3 years.
Man, what?
Cool. So you know what I'm saying? So
And they were
he been
competing.
there.
Yeah.
Then he left there and went to the Clippers with Chris Paul, which all
Okay.
they did was go to the playoffs.
Now let's talk about another team. I'm gonna talk about them because I'm not in that group, and I know it's a bunch of fans of this team in that group. So I'm safe. Y'all gotta take this heat. I ain't convinced on the Bucks.
Me neither.
Me neither.
Can I start?
Me neither.
You know what?
ahead.
Toronto.
You can. Y'all, I gotta make this quick to the kitchen. Y'all go ahead, but I
We
ain't
got
convinced.
you, big shot.
We got you.
We gonna start
Hey.
out with Jern.
Okay, let me just start by saying this. Number one, when they play Houston, right? Me, Ham, Trav, and Big Shot, we kind of talked about this with MJ. Did y'all notice the way that it didn't it kind of look like boxing ones at times when Giannis was when they was playing against Giannis, with some of the ways that they were swarming around him? It looked a little boxing one-ish, and it was working. It was working with Harden stripping the ball here, Westbrook knocking the ball here. Active hands and active feet. That's how you stay in front of Giannis, and that's how you bother Giannis because the
Jordan,
skill set of
Jordan, let me
Giannis
talk to you.
is still evolved. Go ahead.
Let me talk to you. What they did for Giannis is what they call build a wall, especially when they got on the break. When Giannis had the ball, Giannis can take it full court within two and a half dribbles, three dribbles. And what the Rockets did with the lineup that they have, they know they don't have any bigs. So what they do is whoever guarding Giannis is the man in the middle. Those other two guys are going to build that wall. They're going to collapse. So if Giannis' favorite move is to go left and spin right, if he spins, that dude on the left side of that wall, he's stripping it. If he's trying to power left, trying to go hard left, there's another man there. He has to kick it. That man is already over there to cover that guy on the wing. So that wall that is built, that's a little wrinkle that Toronto did. Toronto
And they,
started that, building that
and
Well,
wall.
they,
Boston did it too in the first game that they played against them.
They did, but they didn't
They
perfect
didn't.
it.
They didn't play
But
it for the next 4 games, obviously.
but
You
them
and
know.
a
first
lot,
two games that Toronto lost, and that third game, Nurse said, "The hell with it. My best player is gonna guard his best player." And he had the gift that his best player is first team all defensive Kawhi Leonard.
and a
And the
lot
other
of that
two built that
also,
wall.
a lot of that also with Giannis too is that when you know where he, you catch him in midair. It's pretty much like what him that was saying in his notes as well. You catch him when he's in midair. He's only got a few places where he can go with it. And he
Hmm.
sometimes he gonna just drop it right in there too. He's gonna like an interception. Like, damn, that's what you doing to. But it was just it's also coming from that wall too. Because they sitting back in their coverage and they just reading, especially when he makes his spin or his euro. You already know what's gonna come next. He either going with it or he gonna go here or try to go there. So you got your
See,
wall there. You just pretty much sit, and it does look like a box. The way
and
it comes
because
out,
it's
you know
five,
what
because
I'm
it's
saying?
5 out, and the floor is spread, especially when
Exactly,
he's at the top of the key. That's why I'm looking at it
exactly.
like I'm like that look boxing one-ish, don't it? Right there,
It is
because they just
that.
stick to Middleton.
It's just playing differently than the way they pull
Hmm.
straight through at Steph. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Because with
Hmm.
Steph, they pretty much like, no, motherfucker, you're not shooting this deep. You got to get us
Yeah.
from mid range. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you the mid. We're not giving you that from 22 on that. You know what I'm saying? You can't have that. With Giannis, it's like, oh, take that. Take that
My
And
15.
uh,
We can live
go
my
with
ahead.
that.
issue
Let Big
my
Shot get
issue
this
with
real quick.
Toronto, because now we're gonna go to because I know y'all like not y'all three, but people in the 94 feet of light group, whatever. Y'all liked about the same energy. Here's why I'm not trusting Toronto. Because that same slander that y'all have for Captain Kyle Lowry for all them years, when did that slander turn for Eric Bledsoe? When did that slander turn for George Hill?
Can I be
Preach.
real?
Because the reason I don't trust Milwaukee
It's because
is
of their
because
guard.
Eric Bledsoe ain't showed me yet that he gonna give me 7 straight games in the playoffs. I know Kyle Lowry gonna give me 7 games in the series. I know Kemba Walker, I think with better teammates now in Boston, I trust it. Now, where is this from Eric Bledsoe? Where is this from anybody on Milwaukee not named Giannis?
Uh, can we start here? Can we start here another place? I'm concerned about the second player. I just seen Chris Middleton have a game where he missed 4 shots, and then had another game where he only took 13 shots. I'm confused. I don't know what he doing. I don't know what we getting. Then on top of all of that, number one, I think he takes too many jump shots for my liking. I understand he makes jump shots. I understand he's a jump shooter. But I still think with Giannis being on the floor, number one, Giannis need to cut a little bit more for me. I mean, I can break down that whole offense. I don't like a lot of things about that whole team structure there. I think it's a lot of things that they got to do differently. I do not like Brook always on the perimeter. I think he needs to post up and give me a couple of post ups a quarter when he on the floor, at least to give me something to work off of for Giannis and for Middleton for cutting
Right.
purposes.
Big Blue
Also,
Nation.
cutting is. I think also this with Bledsoe. Bledsoe needs to cut more. I don't want Bledsoe sitting there. Bledsoe's athletic ability was what we liked for Bledsoe for all these years.
He's standing on the
Why is,
perimeter.
why is he
Right.
on the perimeter catching and shooting? Like, I don't understand what they're doing with that. And listen, then we haven't even talked about my guy light skin excellence over there. You know what I'm saying? Who just go out there and hoop. I can't never pronounce the man's name.
I like that take.
Yes, him. He's the most consistent. He's the most consistent guard that they have
Yeah.
by
He
far.
actually one I do trust. You know what I'm saying? He don't compete. He like Big Shot said, he's going to compete and not teach you for the effort. Through seven, even being as young as he is, he really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? That's just his out of between him. George Hill just been around forever. It's like
Yeah.
he always had that deer in the headlight look, but he's gonna compete. You know what you're gonna get from him. Bledsoe is Russ and never gonna be Russ. That's kind of how I look at it. Same kind of athletic ability. They got that same kind of dog, but it's like Bledsoe has a leash on it. I always felt like he has, especially in Milwaukee. You know, it's like, okay, and they paid him and they took care of him and whatnot, but
Yes.
I don't know if they got the dog in them though, man.
I think Giannis, you know who they are, you know who they remind me a lot of? I think the support cast is better. But y'all remember them really, really good Cavalier teams LeBron had, like them late 2000s?
Right.
That you look at the record, you like, damn, LeBron them 67-15. But you know the reason they 67-15 is mostly because of LeBron. That's
who,
Milwaukee.
who is that?
Milwaukee.
Antoine and Mo Williams and
Yep.
all that.
It
Yeah.
may not have been
Yeah.
Antoine. Here you go. It may not have been
Yeah.
Antoine. It was Mo Williams, Delonte West. Them folks had Delonte West at two guard.
Look, they won
Folks had Drew
66.
Gooden with a jump hook.
They did. That year they lost to Orlando. They won 66 games.
Sure did.
But they were a lottery team without LeBron.
Yeah.
You want to know something else
And
too?
Milwaukee reminds me a lot of that. You feel like, man, they got a great record. They shoot the three ball well, but you feel like, man, if Giannis don't park cars and sell popcorn, it's tight.
You know
Can
what?
I got a question.
Go
Can I
ahead.
ask
Go
you a question
ahead.
before you go?
Yeah.
Rate Giannis and Chris Middleton as playmakers when out of a double team.
I think honestly, to be honest with you, I think Giannis has gotten better. But I think the problem for their team is you almost have to play him at point guard. You almost have to play Giannis at the top of the floor because Bledsoe, not even Bledsoe, like Chris Middleton is a true wing player. Like he ain't corner, he not top of the floor. Like he is elbow extended all day. So to me, Giannis has gotten better. Giannis gotten better at it, but he's almost a point guard by default.
And that's your problem because your best playmaker can't be a C plus playmaker.
What I'm
Your
gonna say.
second best player is not even a C plus playmaker. He more like a D minus because Chris Middleton ain't got no eyes. Only thing he see is the bucket. That man like smoke off the biker boys. All he sees is the finish line.
Yikes.
That's tough. That's super tough.
I'm gonna tell you the way I look at Milwaukee. I hope they're not selling me a lie. This team is not selling me a lie. With
Lot of win.
with Bledsoe, that's 70 million. Big Blue Nation, man, don't let me down on that. Do not let me down on that.
When you watch them play Anita
But
Baker. Giving you the best that I've got,
man,
baby.
ooh,
Jerm, I know you got the standings in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Western Conference, right?
Yep.
Who's the first? If we stop today, who is like who? What are the first round? We've already talked about the Lakers, Portland. What's the rest of the first round? If we
got
stop today,
Clippers and Mavs, which I think that's a bad matchup for the Mavs.
Yeah, that's
we got
bad.
The Nuggets. We got the Nuggets and the Jazz, and I don't think the Jazz can score enough. And we talked about that in the chat the other day.
Yeah,
the Jazz just can't score enough.
Jazz struggling to score.
The Nuggets are scoring points, and then you got Houston, and then you got the Thunder, and we said we was there.
Sign me up for that. Now we're talking. Now
sign me up. Sign me up
for that. I love it. Sign me up. You talk about the pettiest series. Hey, let me tell you something. Petty.
Yes, that's must see TV right there.
Hey, that's the
all
that's
7 games. That's maybe 7 games.
You know what? You know what though? With the altitude and everything, I like the Denver and Jazz series. I really do. Because what was that spider that was giving Denver the fits going into 2 or 3 overtimes? He had like 35, 37 in the bubble.
Spider win you a game or two. We win you a game.
I mean, I'm pulling Denver 4-1, 4-2. But everybody be hollering about the altitude of where they play at. Utah with a thin wind, and Denver is the same way.
I just don't want to see that the next round because the Clippers are going to destroy them. Because Spider going to be on punishment on the wing with Paul George, with all them folks. That guard played at and I'm going to be honest with y'all. The most underrated aspect of this is if they say that they like, hey, man, we ain't even going to put Pat Bev on him. We're going to put Pat Bev on Larry Joe Ingles and let him harass him.
No, Germ. Let me get some of that. Get some of that. Joe Ingles is gonna put that man in so many screening roles. But here's the thing with Joe. With the switching, it depends on which player that's gonna switch on it. Because he's trying to do it with a 2 or a 3. He's gonna have problems with Kawhi and Paul George.
I know.
You put Rudy, if Rudy Gobert is setting that screen, and I don't care if it's a Montrezl Harrell or the other big that they got, Zubac. That's a problem. No, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem from them. Because the simple fact, Joe knows one speed. That's his speed. It ain't fast. It ain't slow. It's get there. He's going to get there on his own terms. He going to lay it up. He got options. Believe me, Joe Ingles with Patrick Beverly, you don't want that problem. Patrick Beverly don't want that.
Yeah, that's his skill set.
I'm just gonna say this now.
I don't think Utah gets
past Pat Bev off the.
I don't think Utah gets past Denver.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Utah, that's 4-1, 4-2 for me.
Because Denver just make up people that come in to score 15.
Man, well, they get on 2K, they get on 2K20 and they make this dude that's 6'9" and he got long arms. Next thing you know, bright skin. That's Mike Porter Jr.
Said that. I'm so mad that you said that because you know what's funny? Every time I see Monte Morris with 20 points or 15 points, I'm like, what was he doing? Like, it's crazy. Just the way they lost to the Lakers the other night. What the Lakers almost did the same thing that Portland did the other night. If Kyle Kuzma would have hit that 3, They almost did the same thing with LeBron and
Bobo,
AD.
Bobo got out too late. But you want to know who fault that was?
It
You
was.
want to know who fault that was?
It looked like it was a guard's fault.
No, that wasn't the guard fault. It was Plumlee's fault. Plumlee's supposed to be switched, but he pointed out Holland switch, and he never moved from that spot
Yeah.
because Kyle Kuzma faked the screen to LeBron James, and instead he faded that screen. Well, he didn't fade it, but he basically faked the screen and popped out.
Jern, so who we got in the East if it stopped today?
We got, man, we got Bucks and the Magic.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Yeah, okay.
Bad TV. That's bad for you. We got the Raptors and the Nets. That's bad.
That's bad. That's
We
bad.
got the Celtics and Suicides and Salads.
I hope that's a good one. I hope that's a good one.
I mean, that's the only one that I'm gonna say Suicides and Salads gonna have a chance to be the best player on the floor and dominate the game. 41 and 17 will win that a game will win that series for them. But we don't know what we're gonna get from Suicides and Salads.
I
And
think
then
Boston get past them.
Boston should get that.
And
I
then
think
we got Heat versus Pacers. Sign me up. Sign me up, coach.
The Heat.
Yeah.
I would tell you this: if I was Milwaukee, because I think Milwaukee they'll get them out of there. If I'm
He's
Milwaukee, if I'm Milwaukee, please let it be Indiana.
Is that 4-5? Is that 4-5? That's a 4-5 matchup, correct?
Yeah, that's the 4-5.
And who is the 4-5 in the West?
4-5 in the
Houston.
West. Houston
Oklahoma
and
City.
Oklahoma City.
Hey
The
man,
4-5 matchups is crazy.
hey man.
If I'm Milwaukee, I really want the Pacers to win that series.
Can I say this too? Jimmy Butler is the perfect player to guard Giannis.
Because I think the Heat is just grind ball city.
As much as Trav don't like Jimmy Butler against Kawhi, I like him against Giannis.
Hold on before I get to talking about that. Big Shot then coined a phrase, and now it's like my 4-5 series will be called for now on sign me up series.
Sign me up.
Sign me up series. My
Sign me
4-5.
up for that. Oklahoma.
Second of all, let me address this real quick because I know
They're in trouble.
Big Shot got about 6 more minutes left.
Right.
The reason I don't dislike Jimmy Butler.
No, I said against Kawhi Leonard. That's what I said.
This is my thing about Jimmy Butler. You want to walk in that tier of the top 5, but you're not in that tier of that top 5. The reason why you got paid that tier to be that top 5 because nobody else didn't want to give you that top tier money.
Hey, Trav, I'll tell you like this.
But he playing.
He playing, but let me tell you something. Don't get put out of this bubble by TJ Warren and Victor. Don't let it happen.
I would do a live by myself. None of y'all don't have to be on here. But you know what? To make that live even better, I gotta have y'all on here because the simple
I'm not gonna be on there because if that happened, I'm gonna just join the live and I'm gonna say over to you, Trav, and then I'm gonna just
because he thinks that Jimmy is that dude that thinks that I'm a top tier dude. Are you better than LeBron? No.
Well, I tell you what, a top tier dude. They gets Indiana out of there.
Yeah, they get him out of there with ease. But
if you don't,
Giannis, LeBron, KD, Kawhi, PG, they get Indiana out of there.
Especially with all that talent that they have.
It's skeptical and I like Miami because Miami play with that energy. They don't short you for effort. They do not short you for effort. But let Warren start getting these 30s and 39s.
Hey, he's shooting that tray ball, man. That's that 3 ball, man.
Well, he had like what 12 or 15, and everybody hollered about he got locked up.
Man,
but Jimmy Butler had 19. Jimmy Butler had 19. The media needs something to talk about, so that was their thing to talk about. But if they see these folks, if they see them, and TJ start getting these 30s, these 25s, and these 27s, 30s, 39s, it's gonna be a problem over here. I'm gonna talk about it.
And there you have it. Well, folks, I gotta run, get back to the 95. I'm gonna let these gentlemen continue the conversation because I feel like they still got some smoke. So I might put these boys on in the background. But remember the scene. If you're on Facebook, it's the SCEN the scene. Join the fan page. We definitely building that thing. There's more coming. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube for sure. If you're on Facebook as well, 94 Feet of Light for the NBA, views from the 22 for all things football. Join us, man. It's a growing movement. It's a growing thing. We'll be right here for you. I'm going to let these boys continue because I know there's more coming. Put y'all boys on mute. Big shot out. I'll talk with y'all.
Yes. So, Trav, let me ask this question because we're gonna get ready to, of course, put
We
together.
finna sign out in
wrap
just
up.
a moment. Yes, sir.
But
Wrap it up.
we got the things that we do have, the things that we have with some of these series, and just in general, the intrigue from some of these series. We're trying to see exactly what we're gonna get from the Pacers moving forward. So I think the Pacers need to win this series strictly because you got Victor to come back for this series. That gives you another guy or your best ball handler, technically, outside of Brogdon, to be able to help TJ Warren. So I think they could be a little bit more prime for them to be able to be successful in this bubble situation. But the issue is, I think Miami has one joker, and that's Bam. Bam is the one dude who I think is the biggest mismatch in that series because you defensively he can switch and guard the perimeter players. He can guard the bigs. He's tough on the boards, but then you add all that into it, and now he's shooting threes and knocking down open jump shots. What you gonna do with it? Like now you taking Miles Turner away from the hole. That's really what Indiana wants to do. They want to funnel you into the shot blocker. Now that's starting to take away some of the things that they do well, and that's why I think ultimately, just to say all of that, I think the Heat are the team in the East that can give every one of these teams a run for their money. The only issue is we got to see what happens with your boy.
Jerm, I got something for you. To ask, I'm gonna ask you this first. Who is the backup point guard for the Pacers? Is it Drew Holiday brother?
Yeah, it's Aaron Holiday.
The old Drew Holiday brother, Aaron and Mr. President, they need to control the ball. That's it. What I need Oladipo to do is score. And with scoring, you shouldn't have to handle the ball that much or get the ball in clutch situations and handle and do your thing. The same way with TJ Warren, since TJ is all bubble right now. You need them when that clock gets to 7 and 6 and then nothing ain't flowing, give them to the ball. Your ball handling has to be controlled by Brogdon and Holiday. They have to control it. Take care of that because Miles gonna do work. Miles is a big that's going to work. He's not gonna short you for effort.
Right.
That's why this series is gonna be good. This series is gonna be good because with every Bam you got a Miles. That TJ Warren and Butler's that's set. Your two guards, which is my guy Tyler Hero and Duncan against Oladipo, that's where it's gonna set the tempo at. And don't let Dragon start going off because he should be getting healthy and getting back on that court real
Oh, he was on the court the other night.
So he's getting back in rhythm. Dragon is getting back healthy. Dragon would easily pop in a 26 to 27 on you, real easy.
And he gonna get you that 15 off the bench.
Right.
That's what I was saying. What about 11, 12 assists to go with it? You know what I'm saying?
So to be honest, this series can go 7, but I think it's all about the benches that's gonna matter.
I think so just a real quick prediction, just to piggyback off what you said, I think the best bench in each conference, along with the best guard play, is going to be the teams we're going to see in the finals.
Well, that's just
I'm
a
looking at this
common.
like, but
That's just a
I'm
common denominator in basketball, though, John. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're
because I'm
absolutely
thinking this feels Final Four-ish, don't it, y'all?
I was
exactly.
gonna say very reminiscent of the NCAA tournament, but then, like Trav said, you need that anyway. But especially with the setting, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, neutral site,
Hmm.
where everything in one spot, it does kind of have that. It don't have a playoff feel. It has a tournament feel, like almost a single elimination style tournament.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We we
I
know it's
mean,
not, but it's got that kind of energy.
Big Shot put it. I mean, these are sign me up. These 4 or 5 series are sign me up. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sign me up.
Is Schroeder
I'm
going to be
with it.
back at enough time? Because if Schroeder back, that gives us another dynamic too.
But that's who
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that?
it
Who is that
does.
for? That's that 4 or 5. What's that? Houston, Oklahoma City, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Chris
yep.
Paul, Chris Paul hamstring. They gonna shoot him. They gonna shoot him in his thigh. He's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right. If he get hurt, he'll get hurt game 7.
Well, no. I'm not even talking
Uh,
about for that purpose. I'm talking about because what I really want to see here is I want to see that 3 guard lineup with
against
Gallo
against
and,
them. Right.
yeah, and Steven Adams on the court.
Uh-huh.
Because the one thing we know about PJ Tucker is he's strong as a bull. He doing
Well,
his thing down
well,
there.
yeah.
one person he ain't stronger than
Is
that doggone
Steven?
Aquaman.
Yes,
No, he ain't
Steven
strong.
Adams
He ain't strong.
is
He
a
ain't stronger than
problem.
Ron O'Neal. He
He
ain't
ain't
stronger than Ron O'Neal.
nah, he ain't strong. He's not strong than Aquaman. He's not. He's
Hey,
not.
so with that being said, I think and then see this is the interesting part of this too, because now it also gives Covington the aspect that he can't roam because Covington does a lot of roaming for them on the help side tip, and a lot of things
Yeah.
too. Him and Russ do a lot of that roaming, and Harden does a brink of a lot of things when they switch with big men. So now this is going to
They gotta
turn a lot of
they gotta
things.
guard these folks though, Darn.
They gotta
Yes, they
guard
got
him.
to guard. Yes, they got to guard them.
You want to
They
know
gotta
something?
guard these
You want to
folks.
know? You want to know who's
Whew.
going to be the X factor of this whole series?
Shay?
It's one player.
SGA.
It's Shea. It's Shea for Oklahoma City,
Mhm.
and it's Russell Westbrook for Houston.
Yep. Yep.
Gordon
Yep.
will be back too. I think by the middle of the series.
Yeah, they
Go
did
and
say he
he
was
gonna
gonna be
hey
back.
and oof, don't let him be back.
I mean, that gives you an again.
You
This
better
is
have
why.
Schroeder. You now this is now that's
Yeah,
where you better have
yeah,
Schroeder. If
yeah.
Schroeder's back and Gordon is back, now you equal. But the X factor is going to be Russell and Shea. That's gonna be
I
very,
like this
very
series a lot. I like this
sign
series a
me
lot.
up. That's the coin of the day. 4 5 series,
I
sign
like
me
that.
up. Sign me up.
I'm gonna ask this question: Who is the more dangerous? Who is the more dangerous team in the East and the West out of the 4-5 matchups? Miami or Indiana in the East, or who's the more dangerous team in the West? Houston or Oklahoma City?
Houston. Give me Houston.
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 Give me Houston for the
Yeah.
West.
I, I,
And give me
I was
Miami.
gonna
And give
say,
me Miami for the East.
Okay, but they both
you know
fours.
what?
Right now, they're both
You
the
know what
fours.
though?
Just so y'all know.
You know what though? I think Houston, Oklahoma City might be not it because Houston they got the dynamic of Harden, and then you got Russ there too, and then it's just a general style.
Mhm.
But you give Chris Paul a big man that can roll and do the shit that Steven Adams do with the cast that he got. It's like, yo, this is like legit 4-5 for real. It's almost damn near
Right.
like, okay, we even killed. So I think that for me, they could share it. But if I had to lean one way, I would say Houston because the way James Harden can cook
Right.
just at that level, I'm just
That's
like, oh.
that's exactly what I'm on. That's exactly what I'm on.
If
James
there's gonna be
Harden.
anything that separate,
Russ,
it's him,
Russ, Russ can dictate everything if Russ
right?
be Russ as far as don't take no threes, be aggressive to the rack, take your
You get
mid-range
Russ,
tools, and if you can post up, post up.
yeah. You give us January 1st Russ going forward.
I think I like that.
2020 rush.
That Russ that played against the Lakers.
Yeah.
I
That
need
Russ.
that. I need all of that. I need all that.
That
And
rush
and
that's been in the bubble. Honestly, the rush that's been in the bubble that's the rush.
and it, well, not today. I'm looking at that right now. Not today. 116 to 90. Give me my
Not today.
Spurs right now. With 5 minutes left, give me my Spurs right now. We need
Shot making,
everything and
shot
some more.
making, you shot making bastards. I'm sick of y'all.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you like this. With Miami though, give me them dirty white boys, man. Them pure white boys can shoot the cup out there, rock, man. If
I
they
like
cooking,
them dudes, man.
if
I
they
like them
cooking,
dudes.
if they cooking, the heat is on.
Yeah, I like
The
them
heat is
dudes,
on.
man. For
If
real.
they cook, I'm talking about these ain't European white boys.
Nah, these American white boys.
These are American white boys that's been around, that's been around putting that thing in the basket with
Them folks off the
everybody.
Fast and Furious, huh? Them folks off Too Fast, Too
That's
Furious.
that's some Paul Walkers.
American muscle, huh?
Man, what? That's some Paul Walkers, man. Hey,
I'm gonna say that, and you know what? The 3-point shooting, I think too. The 3-point shooting, I think for Miami in general, they have the ability with their 3-point shooting alone to keep up with every team in basketball. That's what makes them a good matchup every night for everybody. The issue is Indiana doesn't make enough tough. They don't make enough threes, and then sometimes Miami's issue is they shoot too many threes. So we get to see the contrast on a night-to-night basis when the jumper not
Right
falling.
tonight.
Who gonna go? Who gonna be going to the rim? And also, Jimmy Butler has never been an efficient scorer. He's never been that. He's never been efficient.
Right.
So we're not looking for that. Now we're just gonna be looking at, hey, can we get the ball in the side? Can we get the ball to the paint? Can we get to the point where we can make Duncan Robinson get him some open shots? If he go 0 for 5 at the beginning, we just need you to knock down two for 5 in the second half. That need to
Germ,
be the energy.
Germ. I want to put it this way, and we gonna get off these fours and fives. With the two fours, they have they X factors. If these fives can control the tempo of this pace, they have a shot. Chris Paul
Very good.
is a very master of controlling the tempo of the game. If Malcolm Brogdon can control the tempo of the game, the Pacers have a shot.
That's
And
why
I'm
they
not
trade
just
for him.
I'm not just saying as far as slowing the game down, but getting the ball at the right people at the right place at the right time. That's what that is. That's what I mean by controlling the tempo of the game.
Y'all want to give a finals prediction, or y'all want to wait for that?
Nope, no finals prediction yet. Not both.
I'm,
Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I'm gonna,
Have
I'm gonna,
I do it.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna
it.
wait, but I got Toronto as my favorite come out of the East. Favorite, not selection. To make that clear, everybody our favorite. Right now, we ain't started the fucking playoffs. 6 days away. I like Toronto better than I like Milwaukee. I say that. And I like Boston better than I like Milwaukee, but I think everything that you said about an hour or so about Boston, Jerv, it kind of applies in regards to that. But I like Toronto better than I like everybody in the East. Probably with yeah, I do. Just leave it at that. I like Toronto. The West, uh, I'm gonna wait on that one.
I like the Clippers. I like the Clippers better than I like everybody because, as I said, the fact that they got so many guards, the fact that they have all of those different guys that do different things. I mean, we still ain't added in that they still gonna have Trez with Joakim and Zubac. And I ain't gonna even lie to you, Lou ain't played well since he been back. And if Lou get to playing well with Shamit knocking down open jumpers and with Reggie Jackson getting to the hole whenever he want to, and Pat Beverly knocking down threes off the dribble,
It's too much.
And you still got two dudes who give you 25 a night.
You still got two killers. Fuck it, I like the Clippers. Fuck it. Just leave it at
It's
that.
hard. It's
Eh,
hard. It's hard, man. Look,
next week or week after, if we're going to talk about basketball when these
I
playoffs
see it
start,
different
I
outside.
may could give you a pick. Right now, I just can't. I just can't.
you still holding on
It's too
to
many
them
elements.
Spurs, Trav. That's what you
No,
holding
it
on.
ain't. No, it ain't that. Hey, you're hearing this from me. Our playoff chances are slim to none.
But you never know. It depends on what Dame and CJ show up.
Well, I'm saying it right now. Our playoff chances are slim to none. But I like
It's
the
too
fight
many.
that we have. But I'm not
Too
fit.
many.
But my playoff predictions ain't got nothing to do with the Spurs. Nothing.
It's too many elements. I think to like rent for me right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want to see how this no home court, no travel shit plays within 7 games.
Hmm.
And all of what Big Shot prefaced as well in terms of the legs going down. How many games that you have within this short span? Because we pretty much shaving off like 3, 4 weeks of what we would get from normal playoffs to
Hmm.
sandwich this in. I just want to see what the first 2, 3 games of a series gonna look like before I even say anything. But I do like the Clippers and the Raptors. That's just what it is.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, hey, my
You can
final
sign
answer.
me up for that. You can sign
Hey,
me up for that.
Yeah, sign me up for
You can
that one, man,
sign
for
me up for
sure.
that one. I
I'm
ain't
with
picking
that
nothing
one.
yet, but you can
so you
sign
can
me up
sign.
for
I
that
can
one.
sign you up. So I can sign you up, but you ain't picking. You know what?
Not yet. See, that's
Get
the
him out
thing.
of
I
here.
can't. I can't do it yet. You can. If that happens,
That's how
sign
you.
me
That's how
up.
you move though. That's how you move though, Trev. I ain't got to pick shit. Just sign me up twice and shit. That's how I
Hey,
move that
so
way.
for sure, what we gonna do then is we gonna have to do a show before the playoffs start. Then once the season and
Yes.
everything is official,
Yes.
I think I'm just gonna throw this out there now. I think Portland, if Portland take care of business, Portland will be in that situation where
Playing
they'll be playing Memphis.
is the playing game Saturday, right?
I want to say yes.
I think it is Saturday. Playoffs start Monday. We can come on right after the play-in. I'm with it. First of
Because I'm
all,
gonna
what
be honest
time
with
is the
you.
play-in?
I'm gonna be honest with you. We in a situation where if Portland just take care of business and they
They
just win, if they you win and you win. You need to win. This is your playoffs is these next 3 games. And for the rest of that's why I think that they are a dangerous team. The fact that you didn't have to play
Yeah.
meaningful basketball since you got to the bubble. They started off by knocking
You
Memphis
know who
off,
that?
and then they've been rolling since.
You know who
They
that
got their
remind me
couple
of?
battles that they remind you of.
With the exception of the losses that they have,
Mm-hmm.
it remind me of 2011 UConn. 5 games in 5 days, and then they went over the 3 weeks with 6 in a row. They won 11 straight with guards, with perimeter. They
them
won
junk,
11 straight.
them
That's how
junk.
they
They
got
missed
that
number
Pippen
two.
done.
What they missed number two free throws.
I don't
The
think they missed 10
whole
free throws
no, they missed two. They
through
guards,
two.
guards combined missed two free
No,
throws.
that was Shabazz now that did that. When that was Shabazz senior year. They ain't missed with like 2 free
Him
throws.
and him and Boat right.
Him and
Him
Bo
and Boat
right,
right.
right.
Folks
They
that
ain't
missed
missed with
number
two
two
free
free
throws.
throws. Get on out of here, man. That's unheard of.
Remember Dirk in the finals against the Heat. He missed 10 total free throws and he shot over 100 free
Well,
throws. No, in
in
the
that
time and
series
it
before
was
that,
in the matter of fact, it
he
was the
set the
entire
record.
playoffs.
Man, that's dirt though.
Yeah, he set the record when they played Oklahoma City.
Man, that's dirt. That's
But
dirt. That's
but then
dirt.
the same night he set the record. Durant set another record with him because they both shot like 20 plus free throws the same night,
Right, right, right.
Man, we got some ball
same
coming
game.
coming up, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got
man.
some ball coming up, y'all. Hey man, as y'all see, Ball U Academy, Hungry Humble Hustle. Hey, this is the Great Jones. This is my Great Jones.
Hey
I
man,
don't worry, I got the jogging pants on too, with the same logo on.
this the scene, man.
Get
This where it's gonna be
all
at
of
for
the
now
merch.
on. It's gonna be the scene, 94 feet of life, brought to you by Bar U Academy. We finna close this thing
Use for the
out, man.
22,
Use for the 22.
fight threads,
All
pin in
of
the
it.
outfield, All of
Everything.
it. I'm shouting out the whole squad. Shout out to Simply Reed's Customs. I ain't rock my gear today, but I have it on for the next one. Shout out to everybody else that's out there creating hustles, get money, doing their thing, especially during these crazy pandemic times. Jerm got about 8 different new hustles and shit that he done put together. That's all he do anyway. So you look at him, he just look like a player. It's just what it is. Bottle water on the set. He ain't even on his own name. He on Mo name. That's how cold he is.
Man.
we
Hey
gonna
man, I'm always working.
we gonna get that going. But yeah, man. Hey, again, 94 feet of life, all on the scene, man. We gonna holler back at
Yeah,
y'all.
question. One more question though. Hold on, Trav.
Yes, 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 yes.
What's y'all go-to move?
Oh, they need to answer that. They need to answer that.
So look, man, don't bring that shit to me. Today's NBA climate talking about what somebody's go-to move is. All right, these motherfuckers got a luggage full of goddamn skills that they gonna possess, and what's their go-to move? Whatever you give them, whatever you gonna play them. Hey, what the
Listen.
fuck is Kevin Durant's go-to move?
Shoot it over
What's
you.
Le- what's LeBron go-to move? Average
Shoot it over
27.
you. Yeah, shoot it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot it over
Shit,
you.
man. I just had to get my rant off. I had to get one
Man,
off per show.
man, they need to hear that, man. But yeah, man. The scene, man, this is where it's at. This is where it's gonna be for now on, man. So get signed up so we can sign you up.
And work on your go-to moves.
Hey, man. Holler back at y'all, man. One.
All right.
Garage door.
Like there's a lot of games sandwiched, bro, into a space. You know what I'm saying? That's what we were trying to. We were trying to get catch to see that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not put them going to one tomorrow.
Door.